Hey, you old geezer, have you really already gone home? What is your problem, man?
What are you talking about? It's already past 5 o'clock. Of course I've gone home already. And where do you get off talking to me like that anyways? Isn't that a little uppity for a new hire to the company such as yourself? Besides, I'm not even anywhere close to being a geezer. Just because you're 23 and I'm 35 doesn't make me an old man.
Oh yeah? Well, I heard that you only went to a community college.
And just who did you hear that from, might I ask?
Oh, you know, word gets around the office, but I guess you were trying to keep it a secret the way you're reacting. Of course, who could blame you? Anyone would be ashamed about not having gone to a real college. I completely understand.
That is not really why I was asking, actually. And for your information, I'm not ashamed in the slightest of where I graduated from. But if you're going out of your way to ask about what schools which employees went to, I would hope that the people around the office would be smart enough not to answer you.
I knew it. You can't fool me. It's so obvious that you really do care that I know. After all, how can you even compare yourself to someone who graduated from Dartmouth like me? You must be devastated that I know your little secret, aren't you? I almost couldn't believe it when I first heard the truth about you, if I'm being honest.
Congratulations, Derek. I'm sure that you worked really hard for your degree and that it certainly had a role in you getting your job at this company. But you do know that companies look at more than just where you went to school when they're reviewing applications, don't you? For example, they consider past experience that you might have gained at other jobs, what exactly you were doing at previous jobs, and more practical things like that as well. In fact, I would say that once you graduate and have some experience, most jobs prioritize real-world experience over a college degree from a prestigious school.
No, please, don't try to lecture me. Now that I know your little secret, I know that there is really nothing that you could possibly teach me. You're just trying to make excuses for your own lack of a real college education right now, aren't you?
I'm sorry, but I really think you need to do a serious ego check on yourself. Are you even reading the kinds of messages you're sending right now? I mean, you've only been here for, what, a month or something?
Oh, is that what you think? Sounds like more excuses to me, Ron.
Look, let's make something clear. I don't really like pulling rank in the office, but the fact is that as long as you're working here, I'm your superior and you're working under me. Do you understand? This is no way to be talking to your supervisor. In fact, all this does is prove that having a good education has nothing to do with the kind of person that you really are.
Are you so sure about that? I bet that in a year I'll have your job and you'll be the one working for me.
Excuse me? Are you being serious right now?
I bet you probably make a lot of money, don't you? Well, if an idiot like you could land that job, then I'm sure it'll be no problem at all for me to usurp you. Then it'll just be smooth sailing from there.
Look, you seem a little upset or something. The truth is that anyone can get any position in this company if they demonstrate the right skills for it.
So you admit it. It's all about skill. What do you think I went to an Ivy League school for, huh? If you can do this job, then I'm sure that means any idiot could with a little bit of effort. And with my youth and education, an old man like you doesn't stand a single chance against someone like me.
Well, yes, I'm saying it's about skill that you gain from experience working here. If you're really motivated to work that hard, then sure, I hope that you succeed and help the company achieve its goals.
What are you, a moron? I'm gonna take you down, steal your job, and leave you so far behind on the corporate ladder.
Okay then, sounds good. Good luck with all of that, Derek.
By the way, I'm really curious, how much do you make in a month here? Or is that another little secret that you want to hide from everyone in the office?
Actually, I don't really mind sharing that kind of information usually, but yes, sometimes people can be a bit sensitive about telling others how much they earn. The fact is, though, that I just don't want to tell you, Derek.
Yo, just shut up already and tell me how much you make a month. Consider it a way to motivate your employee to work harder. I'll even say thank you if you do. How does that sound? What is it then? $4,000 a month? $5,000 a month?
It's actually closer to $7,000 a month.
What? $7,000 a month? Are you serious? No joke?
What would I have to gain from lying to you about how much I make?
Wow, see? Now I feel much more motivated to try and steal your job since I know you're making 3 times as much as me.
Well, I think I should tell you that when I was around your age and working here, I was only making about $2,000 a month. It's actually only recently that I got a raise, putting up to my current $7,000 a month.
Well, that is probably just because you don't even have a real college degree.
Yeah, I'm really sure that is what my salary's been based on in all of the years that I've been working. Anyways, if you do end up getting my job, I imagine that after you complete some additional training, you'll probably be making around as much as I am. But for now, you still have to get through your new employee training anyways. What is it, another month until that's over?
I don't need you to remind me about what I already know, but yes, that's right. Just one more month and you're stuck with me.
Wow, being sentenced to a life of having to work with you, I truly shudder at the thought.
That's right. You should be scared of me. I'm coming for you. You might as well start preparing your handover documents now.
Don't you think it's a little too early in your career for that kind of talk?
By the way, how big is your family?
Well, I have a wife and a daughter, if you must know.
So, you're a dad, huh? Well, I feel sorry for your poor little daughter. Soon her daddy's gonna be out of a job.
Yeah, gee, that would really suck. I mean, I still haven't paid off the loan for my house. I don't know what I would do if I lost my job.
Geez, Ron, it's okay. You don't have to beg so hard. Once I have your job, I may allow you to continue working under me. For $2,000 a month, that is.
Wow, well, thank you so much, Derek. That really means a lot. By the way, do you talk to everyone in the office like this, or just me? Because I can't see things going well for you here if this is how you treat everyone.
Of course I don't talk to the others like this. After all, they all went to real colleges and are not posers like you.
Wow, well, I can't say that makes me feel much better, but okay, you do you, man. Hey, Derek, where did you run off to now? Don't tell me you're slacking off on your work again.
What are you talking about? All my work is already done. And you have a lot of nerve making me stay late day after day to keep me busy. I've half the mind to sue you for labor law violations.
But Derek, you came to me not that long ago and told me that you wanted the workload that I have. I was just doing what you asked. Besides, honestly, I've really just been giving you little slivers of what I do to ease you into it.
Shut up! You can't fool me with your lies. You're just trying to dump so much work on me so that I can never go home on time. I bet you're just giving me all the work that you don't want to do yourself. You're supposed to be our supervisor. It's your job to help guide us through our work. All you're doing is just abusing your power now. I can't handle all of this work that you keep dumping on me.
Oh, no, Derek. I'm really so sorry if there's been some kind of misunderstanding here between us. The work that I've been handing off to you has, for the most part, really just been routine paperwork that I'm always having to do in my position. And since you're so keen and confident that you can take my position so easily, I really expected you to be able to handle all of this no problem. After all, you're always saying how if I can do the job, then anyone can, right?
Do you really expect me to believe that you deal with this much work on a routine basis here? How about I take all of this work to human resources and ask them about it? Do you really think they're going to corroborate your story? They'll have to fire you on the spot. Well, Ron, tell me, how did it go?
Ah, speak of the devil. I was just wondering why you haven't showed up today. So, where are you?
Where am I? I'm standing right in front of the company president's office door.
Well, what the heck are you doing there?
I brought my case to Human Resources, and the president called saying he wanted to speak to me right away.
What did you tell to Human Resources was happening?
Just the truth. The truth about you dumping impossible quantities of work on me in an attempt to make me quit. I thought they might fire you and give me your job, or at least a raise.
Wow, Derek, if you really think that's how the corporate world works, then maybe you really are beyond saving.
But I don't get it. I'm just trying to help the company weed out dangerous supervisors like you. Why is the president so upset with me over this?
They're probably upset because it's obvious that you're just doing this all to try and make me lose my job, and they don't want that to happen.
What? But you're just a leech. You're squeezing them for $7,000 a month.
That's right. I do make that much. And for your information, there are many other companies I could go to that are willing to hire me for much more.
You mean you're not even making how much you really could be? How much are you talking here? Don't tell me that you've had offers for like $10,000 a month or something.
Well, actually, to tell you the truth, yes, that's how much I used to make.
You're kidding me. So you took a pay cut to come here? Why did you even come here in the first place?
I came here because when I was younger, the president of the company really helped me out and took care of me. One day, the president reached out to me and told me that he wanted to upgrade some of the systems here and asked if I wouldn't mind taking the job to help him do so. So I've actually only been working here as a contractor of sorts until I've got the new systems in place. Even if you were trying to steal my job, like you were always threatening to, I only have 2 more years left on this contract anyways. Of course, it's true that after I leave, someone will have to take over my position to manage all of these new systems. And while you've shown a lot of motivation, shall we call it, to take over for me, I'm afraid that you just don't really have the right personality.
What are you talking about? What is this? You mean you can just move around your position here that easily?
No, sorry, I don't think that you understand. I'm not a regular employee for this company.
Well, then what are you?
I'm just a freelancer in my field. My original contract here was only to establish the new systems that the president wanted. So once that is done, then I'll be done with my work here. But there still needs to be someone here who can manage the systems, like I mentioned earlier. So while it was not part of my original contract, it was always my intention to try and keep an eye out for someone who seemed that they could handle the work the system required and take over in case anything happened after I had left. And just so you know, I was talking to the president about these new systems, and to be honest, I think there will probably need to be a team of at least 3 people to handle all the work they will need. That was actually one of the whole reasons you were hired in the first place.
So then, you mean I have to thank you for my position here at the company?
I guess that is one way of putting it, sure. But I guess that my judgment wasn't really as good as I thought it was.
Wait, no. Hold on a second. I don't know about any of this.
Yes, I can tell. You made your ignorance very clear the way you were talking to me, despite me being the person in charge of this system.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. This has all just been a huge misunderstanding. Please don't fire me.
But why shouldn't I? Besides, like you said, you're still young and full of life. You can always find another job, can't you?
No, I can't. The truth is that my grades were never good at Dartmouth. I barely even graduated. Finding a job that would take me after that was one of the hardest things I ever had to do. But everyone kept saying that I was a genius for going there. All of my friends and even my parents were saying that I would be a millionaire in no time. I can't go back to them like this.
A compelling story, but it sounds like you kind of bought into your own hype even though you knew it wasn't true. I hope that you have learned something from this at least.
Please, I promise that I'll take this job more seriously. I'm begging you, please don't leave me out in the cold like this.
I'm really sorry, but by my estimates, you're probably at least 5 years out from having the necessary experience it would take to really handle this job. I've learned that much about you since you started here. So just hang in there, keep studying, keep gaining experience, and try applying here again.
No, please. I promise that I'll work hard. I'll do whatever it takes.
Even if that means having to stay late and work overtime every day until you learn the skills that you need to work efficiently?
Sure, as long as it's only like a couple of hours every day.
Derek, come on. You have seen how much work this takes. You and I both know that it's going to be far more than that.
You're right, I'm sorry. Whatever it takes then. I'll work all through the night if I have to. Just please come to the president's office and explain to him that I can do it. You and I can convince him to let me stay together.
I'm sorry, Derek, but I really just can't do that.
But why? You're my supervisor. You're supposed to be looking out for me.
I'm afraid that you have it a bit wrong there, Derek. Sure, I'm your boss, but more than that, I'm a human being with feelings. And you have made it more than clear to me that your main goal for working here was to tear me down and try set me back on my career as your underling. Even after I told you that I have a family and a kid, you still continue to act in the same manner. Why would I ever want to show pity to a guy like you?
But I was just fooling around. I wasn't serious.
I really wish that I could believe you, but I somehow seriously doubt that. Maybe the time being unemployed will give you the taste of the real world that you need to help be a more well-adjusted person.
Ron, please, you can't do this to me. Please, I need this job. Ron!
After that, the company president questioned Derek about the cruel and unprofessional messages that he had been sending me, as well as his inability to keep up with his work. Given that Derek was still in his trial period at the company, it was easy to have him fired on the spot. After he packed up all of his belongings, he ran to my desk and begged me to help him. I, of course, had no intention to, and merely called security, who promptly escorted him off company property. The company president then came to me and told me that he wanted to make sure that he hired the right people to manage his new systems, not just in terms of skills, but temperament as well. After all, no matter how skilled we are or where we went to school, we're all humans at the end of the day and need to treat each other with respect. While the maintenance of the system is important, it's also important not to overlook the kinds of people that will be running it either.
Natalie, what time do you think you'll be home?
I'll be done with work around the same time as usual, so I'll be home by 6:30. Something wrong?
I just thought that we could eat out today instead of going through the trouble of cooking at home.
Oh, that's a first. You always say we should eat at home to save money.
Oh, don't worry. I'll pay for the both of us. We need to celebrate after all.
Wait, was there something that happened today? If so, it must have gone out the other ear. Don't tell me you had a promotion at work or something.
Well, we'll be having a new family member soon.
Hold on. What do you mean?
Are you still not connecting the lines? Remember how I told you that my sister's birthday is coming up? And how I said it'd be nice if we organized some sort of celebration for her?
Oh, yeah, I remember you mentioning that. So are we going to book a place tonight to eat out with Alice?
Yeah, it'll be a great birthday gift for her, and the timing would be great since she's moving into a new house, too.
Where did she decide to move? I remember her living with your mom, right? But that's surprising that she's planning on moving out when she's still going to college. Unless you're talking about a student dorm? I couldn't imagine her having enough money to support herself at her age. Though I don't blame her for wanting to live away from her parents. She didn't get along very well with your dad, right?
Yeah, so that's exactly why we'll be taking her to live at our place.
Wait, seriously? Oh, are you saying we'll have her stay over while she finds a place of her own? Is there anything you need me to do?
Oh, don't worry about it. I've got it all sorted. I took a day off from work today so I could pick all of her stuff up. I've done some basic shopping for her, too. You know, things like toothbrushes to cutlery. We can't have her using our stuff, right? Anyways, yeah, I took some money out of our joint account for all of that.
Wait, hold on. You took it out of our savings account. I'm fine with having your sister stay for a little bit, but did she not have enough money for her own things?
Look, you're worrying too much. It'll all work out.
Okay. Just make sure to get the money back from her when she can.
Natalie, tell me, who's the one that manages all of the finances in this home? It's me, right? And I thought that helping my dear sister out and paying for her expenses was what needed to be done, so I did it. That's why I took the money from our account.
Hold on. You could have at least told me beforehand, right? But instead, you already organized all of this behind my back without messaging me at all. What? Did you think I was going to say no or something? I feel betrayed that you hid all of that from me.
I just went ahead and did what I thought would have been the smoothest process for this whole situation, okay? Besides, even if you were against the whole thing, I would have gone through with it. You and Alice are sisters-in-law. What's the issue with helping out one of your family members? We even conveniently have an empty room. What's the issue?
Wait, an empty room? Which room are you talking about? Max, we don't have an empty room in our house.
Oh, you know the room with all of your stuff that you never use? You barely go in there, do you?
Hold on. That has all of my documents as well as really important artworks that my grandfather painted before he passed away. Where are we going to put all of that?
All that room is being used for his storage. I moved all of that junk into our room.
Hold on. You can't just do that without asking me.
Natalie, what's more important? A room used solely for storage, or a room being used for my sister who's just trying to live?
Well, then why didn't you just move the gym equipment you have in that one room that you barely use? Or what about the room that you call your home office? You're always in the lounge room anyways. It wouldn't have made much of a difference if someone was living there. Max, you have 3 rooms to yourself, including our own bedroom. So why didn't you just use one of those instead of moving my stuff around? She's your sister, after all. Besides, I'm still really annoyed that you went through all of this without letting me know.
Hey, all 3 of those rooms of mine are necessary, okay? Look, my decision has been made, so just be a good wife and follow along with what the man of the house has decided on.
Are you listening to yourself?
I thought you would have been happy to help out a family member in trouble. I was going to pay for your dinner too, but forget it. I'll just go celebrate Alice's birthday between the 2 of us. You know what? I might as well just pay for Alice's birthday dinner with our savings account too, since you seem to not understand the importance of helping out those in need.
Hey, hold on! Look, I'll admit that I should have remembered Alice's birthday, but what's with you and hiding everything from me? You could have mentioned that we were going to have dinner out tonight, let alone that your sister was going to be moving in. Clearly, you're in the wrong for not saying a word about any of this, Max. Hey, Natalie. Can I borrow $50 from you? One of my college friends is having a birthday party, and I need some money for drinks. I saw your wallet in the lounge room, but I'll just take it from there, okay? Oh, don't worry. I'll give it back to you ASAP. You have my word.
Alice, that's really inappropriate of you to just take money from someone's wallet. If you want to go and have fun, then please work and earn it yourself. The money in that wallet is purely for daily necessities like rent and food for the house.
Look, I promise I'll give it back, okay? Trust me, I wouldn't steal from my sister-in-law. Besides, my friend's birthday only comes around once a year. Even you can understand that, right? I don't want to just betray my poor friend by not showing up.
What kind of logic is that? Besides, how long are you going to stay at our house for? It's been 2 weeks.
Calm down, Natalie. We're family, right? We help each other out when we're in need. Surely you're not as heartless as to kick me out of the house, right?
Look, even your mom and dad were against this entire thing. Go back and live with them while you earn your own money so you can move out one day.
My brother said it was fine for me to move in, so I don't know what the problem is.
Excuse me, your brother isn't the only one that lives in this house. Your parents only agreed to it because Max lied to them, saying I was 100% okay with it. I didn't have a say in this entire thing, okay?
Well, yeah, Max is a great brother, so of course he'd want to help me out. I don't even know what you're complaining about. I'm literally just borrowing money.
By the way, I heard that your mom will be dropping in to visit on the weekend.
Oh, too bad. I have another big party planned, so I won't be home all weekend.
Your mom and dad don't even know the truth about this entire situation. You can't just keep lying to them and live here.
Well, Max says it's fine, so clearly it's fine. Besides, this is the best choice for me right now with how close my college is from this house. Moving into the dorms there is super expensive too, and it takes an hour from Mom's house. Surely you'd do the same if you were in the same shoes. And this house has so much space too. Why would I ever go back?
I've told you this time and time again, but if you want to live here, then you need to start paying rent.
Do you really expect to get payment from someone that's still in college? I'm not even 20 yet.
Well, clearly you don't have an issue with taking money out of my wallet, so why should I treat you any different?
OMG, I told you that I'd return that money when I can. Clearly, you've never been a broke college student. Right now, I'm too busy to get a part-time job because of how many assignments they give us in class.
So how are you going to give that money back you took from my wallet then? And I've never even seen you work on anything at home. You're always sleeping in until noon. Are you even going to class?
Excuse me? I'm going to everything that's mandatory. And besides, I'll give you that money when summer break hits. Trust me.
Anyways, I am firmly against you staying at our house without paying bills or doing any chores. And you didn't follow any of the rules I told you to follow.
Huh? What are you even talking about?
I told you to clean up after yourself, but I have to clean up all of your dirty dishes and clothes. And I told you to go to all of your classes, not some of them.
It's not like there's an attendance rate for lectures. I can just get the notes that my friends take if I need the information anyways. And you always go around cleaning the house before I can get to it. I always plan to wash my clothes, but you do it while I'm out of the house, so how is that my fault?
You leave your messy clothes tossed on the floor for days. Do you just want me to leave them there all throughout the house? You're clearly just using me to do your chores. And I had food in the fridge that I prepared so I could take into work for lunch.
which you ate, all without my permission. So I had to come home after a busy day of work to make it all again. Do you get where I'm coming from? I mean, I was hungry and there wasn't much else to eat in the fridge. Anyways, Max told me that I could eat whatever was in there, so I don't know what you're getting mad at me for. This isn't the first time this has happened. You've done this repeatedly, even after I told you not to. I make food to take into work in batches because unlike someone who has an easy schedule, I need to leave at 6 in the morning. And Max tells me to make his lunch too, so that's daily food for 2 people that I have to handle. So it's a real nuisance when you just eat without telling me first and I have to redo all of it when I barely have any free time at all. Well, Max said it was okay, and he's clearly in charge of the house, so what's the issue? If you want more free time for yourself, then maybe get a more flexible job or something? Alice, if this keeps up, I have something else in mind. I'm sure you'd love it. Huh? What now? Max won't be too happy if you do something to me. I can kick you out of this house at any time. I've let a lot of stuff slide, Alice, but you're starting to push it. I've mentioned some stuff to your mom, you see, and I'm sure she'd react the same way. You better not underestimate what your parents can do to you. That sounds like blackmail to me. As if I'd be scared of my own parents. I'm going to tell Max you've been bullying me. I wonder what he'll say. He says I'm always welcome to live with him, and so I have no intentions of going home. If you want to live here, then at the bare minimum, you need to relearn how to treat others. I'm just living how I've been living all my life. I've done nothing wrong. Max told me to make myself at home after all. I think you just like controlling the way other people live. Keep telling yourself that. I have to get back to work because I actually have things I need to do. So please, do not touch my wallet without my permission. Well, too bad. I've already left the house. I was going to return that $50 I borrowed, but with the way things are between us, I don't know if I should. Max, I'm back.
Oh, you're home now?
Yeah, we need to talk. You didn't change the lock on our door, did you? My key doesn't work. And why is all of my stuff outside in a box?
Oh, you hear all about people breaking into homes these days. So I changed our door's lock to a stronger one. You don't want people that aren't family to trespass, right? And that box outside is just the trash that we're going to throw out tomorrow morning. Not sure what you're confusing it for.
I promise you, you do not want to do this with me.
Rich coming from you, when you were blackmailing my sister. You were going to kick her out of the house if she didn't do everything you said. Was that about the gist of it? You know Alice was crying, right?
I'm sure she changed the story to make it seem like I was the one in the wrong.
I mean, you still blackmailed her, didn't you?
All I said was that she needed to do her part if she was going to live with us. She should be doing basic chores and cleaning up after herself. And if she wants money, then she should work for it. She has just been making my life much harder than it clearly should be. I'm fine with her living with us. What I'm saying is that she should be doing what she can to make our lives easier if she wants to live here.
I've heard everything from her, okay? You can say whatever you want, but the damage has clearly been done. You've disliked Alice from the very beginning, but you didn't need to go as far as making her cry for just doing her own thing.
You pushed her into my life, and yet you expect me to comply with everything she wants to do? All she does is take advantage of me and pretend that she owns the house. She's made me ask your parents for an allowance, which obviously they declined. And I thought that would be the end of it, only to find out that you'd been giving her an allowance from our joint savings account. I don't know if you realize or something, but I can see every transaction you make in that account.
You've been so mean toward Alice since the beginning, so I had to take matters into my own hands. So I thought it'd be good if you experienced what it feels like to be kicked out for once. I'm sure you'll be crying like my sister after this. I'll be taking care of my sister in this house, so you better find some other place to stay.
All right, well, I'll just sell this house then.
Huh? What are you talking about? This house is mine. How would you sell something that isn't even yours?
This is legally my house. Don't tell me you didn't even know that.
What kind of delusional fantasy are you talking about?
You really don't remember? I know things have been going very well for you at work, and I know you've been away from home a lot more because of it. But don't tell me you actually forgot. This house was my house that I was living in, that I was getting renovated. Sure, we both moved in together at the same time when we got married, but this property has always been under my name.
Oh, you're trying to bluff so I'd panic and let you in, is that it? We got married, so this property's ownership got passed over to me, right?
That's not how it went down at all. I became your wife after we got married, sure, but this house has always been my property. After we got married, you never once paid property tax, right?
Property tax? We're just making things up now, are we?
You really don't know? It's tax that homeowners specifically have to pay for. Well, I moved all of that trash that you threw out back into my car. So I think I'll just sell this house and rent out a one-bedroom apartment or something. I mean, I have the money after all. In fact, I might be able to buy a house if the price of the land here has gone up.
Wait, hold on. What happens to us then? Where will we live? You can't just do that without my permission.
You brought your sister over without my permission. You moved all of my grandfather's paintings without my permission. How is this any different? You were about to throw out all of my belongings without asking me. So I don't know why I shouldn't just sell this house and be done with everything.
I mean, this is equally my house as much as it is yours. There's a difference between inviting someone over and selling something that we both share.
Well, much like with stuff that you wanted to throw out, I just suddenly had the urge to throw out the entire house just like that.
Hold on, Natalie. Let's talk this out, yeah? Let's all get together, Alice included, and have a talk about how to handle things.
Oh, what are you panicking over? You both have your parents' house that you could live in, right? Family help each other out in times of need, was it? Well, it seems like it's a new chapter in both of our lives, so we might as well get a divorce too.
Hold on, you are going way too far.
Well, I don't see the point of us being together anymore, especially if it's with someone that doesn't know how to handle money. It'd be a great chance to live our own lives. Now no one will complain about the choices you make. You'll have to be responsible for all your actions, though.
Wait, hold on a second, Natalie. There's no need to rush this much.
Well, someone clearly seemed to be in a rush to push me out of their life. What was all that about, huh?
I mean, I just wanted to make you feel the way Alice did by kicking you out is all.
So you were 100% okay with kicking me out then? You really think I'm that stupid, do you? Want me to let you in on something very interesting, by the way? I can legally charge you for damages.
Wait, what are you talking about, Natalie? Damages? What for?
Well, a certain someone wasn't very gentle with my grandfather's paintings, it seems. Gee, want to know how much all of those are worth? Oh, and did you know? I've always handled those paintings with gloves on, so it seems like the only fingerprints that will be left on there will be yours. My grandfather's artworks go for a ton of money, too. I'm sure we'd need professional artwork restorations for some of those scratches that you've made. I wonder how much that'd all cost.
You're joking. Those were worth something?
Even if those weren't worth anything at all, I have absolutely no intention of being with someone that treats other people's property without any respect whatsoever. Especially when those were left behind by my late grandfather. Expect to hear back from my lawyer very soon in regards to damage payments. You'll be taking full responsibility for your actions.
Wait, if you do that, you'll make me broke.
I'm sure you will. So much for the man of the household that you self-proclaim to be. It's definitely not an amount of money someone without a house of themselves would be able to pay off.
Natalie, wait. I was wrong. Please, let's just talk and sort this all out.
I'm sure things are going to become very different after the divorce. But it's already in motion, so you better start thinking about your future.
Come on, please. Listen to what I have to say.
Did you ever help me out when I was in trouble?
Wait, what are you talking about?
I had to come home from work exhausted and do every bit of the housework. And you never did a single thing, did you? When your sister that you brought to our place ate all of the food that I had prepared for our work lunches, I had to cook all of that again, even though I was tired. Did you help me then? Nope. What you did was tell me to handle all of the cooking because that's what the wife does in the marriage and left it all to me.
Look, I really feel awful for what I've done.
The damage has already been done? Was that what you said before? Oh well. I don't think we need to discuss about who keeps what in the house, but I'll contact a lawyer to organize all of that in the coming days. But don't worry, I'll handle everything. I mean, I think most of the things in that house belong to me anyways.
Natalie, you're rushing into this far too quickly. Rethink what you're doing. Please. Come on. If we talk it out, I'm sure even Alice will cooperate too. I know she's a little much at times, but I'm sure she's willing to compromise. I'll be sure to keep my end of the deal too. I'll help you whenever you need me, so please.
Okay, let's all have a big conversation with the three of us and a lawyer.
That's not what I mean. Natalie, please. I want to still be your husband.
Natalie, please come back. I'm begging you. We don't have anywhere we can go. Oh, you are still in the house? Well, I've already gone through with selling that place, so you better leave soon. We don't know where we can go. Please let us live with you again. We're family, right? Please, you have to help us. Well, there's always your parents you could live with. If they'd even forgive you two, that is. Wait, how do you know that we've been kicked out from our parents' house too? Well, your father messaged me telling me how sorry he was on behalf of you two, actually. He also mentioned something about cutting ties with his two children, too. He said he'd failed at raising them. I wonder, how does it feel to make your parents cry? My parents were crying? Sorry, but I have no intentions to get back together with Max. Nor am I going to go back on selling the house. My brother keeps blaming me about this whole thing, telling me to get a job. Can you believe it? He did destroy paintings worth a fortune, after all. Seems like you'll be working for many years to come. If I work that much, I won't be able to finish my assignments for college. And then I won't even be able to graduate. Well, you clearly had the time to go out with your friends, and you seem to be doing fine with your college classes. You don't understand. The lectures I hadn't been going to were all mandatory, but no one ever told me. And there's an exam worth 50% of the grade where all of the questions come from the lectures I missed. So I don't think I'll be able to pass it all. That's a shame. I can't pay for another year of college, and my parents tell me to pay my own college fees by myself now, even though they promised they'd pay for it before all of this. How could I have known that they would get this mad at me? Well, your parents are both workers too. I'm sure even they can't make money grow on trees. If you had been nice to me, I would have done all I could to support you. But we all know how that went down. Wait, you were going to help me? Oh, I was sending money to Max for your expenses, but I wouldn't have been against sending more if you had asked nicely. He kept insisting that as his wife, I needed to support him in every way possible, so I didn't have any choice to send a bit of money. He only makes half my income. There's no way he could have had enough money to help you out as often as it seemed he was. You were paying for all of my things? You know what I found out too? Max barely cared about education, but he insisted that he'd have private education since public schooling would ruin his reputation, and made his parents pay for all of the fees when they could barely afford it. And you did the same thing, didn't you? You went to a private high school and went straight into a high-end college, all without paying a single cent yourself. So you're saying both Max and I made our parents in debt? I'm sure you didn't have high enough grades for a scholarship. There's only one other way to get into a famous college, right? Well, you don't need to worry anymore though, do you? Seems like you'll be dropping out anyway. I'm sure it'll be tough to get into a job without a college degree. Wait, please! Let's see how you'll feel about having to work hard for that $50 note you took from my wallet. Hey, it might make you rethink about the way you use money, huh? Anyways, I have a whole new life ahead of me to enjoy, so I'll be going now. Good luck. Wait, Natalie, please. I didn't know anything. I thought Max owned this house, and I thought he earned much more than you did. Please, I didn't know any better. I'll do anything, I promise. I had no intentions of helping my ex-husband or his younger sister, so I cut all ties with the both of them. I heard that they both ended up moving into a cheap apartment as they couldn't go back to their parents' house. And now they pay the bills by doing some part-time work that pays the minimum wage, slowly chipping away at the debt for destroying my grandfather's artworks. Alice didn't have good grades to begin with either, so that, in addition to her not showing up to class, made it so she'll need to repeat her third year of college once again. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe and like the video if you enjoyed it. See you next time.
Hi, Abby! Oh, what a lovely surprise. Nice to hear from you, Riley. Elijah told me that you're gonna have your wedding soon. You're planning it already? Yep, I am. OMG, that is so awesome. I got so excited when he told me that. Have you decided the venue yet? There was one really gorgeous place I was really trying to book, but they're booked up for the rest of the year. And the year after that. And the year after that. It's hopeless. And of course, Mitch is too busy to try and help find somewhere else. I've been busy too. I was worried we wouldn't even have time to do this. But the both of us have had a much easier time recently. But just in case, I'd like somewhere with a deposit, just for my own peace of mind if something comes up again. You already had somewhere you wanted to do it? Wait a minute. Ugh, I bet it's somewhere cheap, isn't it? You better not cheap out on us. This is a big moment. You only get one shot at this, and you can't go somewhere lame and ruin it. Cheap out? Really? What? I'm just saying, no need to be defensive. Look, if you've picked out a place, there's like a high chance that it's going to be low budget, right? We all know you aren't exactly loaded. So if you're picking the place, it's bound to be shabby. You really gonna try and get a bargain for something as special as this? There's like plenty of places with openings if you just offer them enough money. They're telling you no because you're not worth it. Elijah was able to find somewhere because people are willing to make room for you if you have the funds. You're just not doing it right. That is a horrible thing to say, Riley. Just because we don't have the money your family does, it doesn't mean we're lesser than you. Money isn't that important, especially for a wedding. What's important is that we do it together, not how popular the place is. So there's no need to look down on us. It's not like we're going to have it in some dump. I didn't say you would be having it in a dump. You said it, not me. I'm just pointing out the obvious. I wanted to see if you were doing this right. Is that so wrong? I see. Well, honesty is a good trait to have, I suppose. Not a lot of people are truthful nowadays. I'm not used to talking with blunt people. Maybe I took it too personally. I'm sorry if I misunderstood what you were saying. I mean, you didn't misunderstand. You just shouldn't have been offended. I just said that knowing you, you're not putting the proper amount of money into this. That's just the fact. No way around it. Like, everyone knows it, so what's the problem? Did you think you were, like, middle class or something? You got some problems if you thought you were anywhere over the poverty line. What? Why are we even talking about this? Elijah has a lot of money, you know. You know where he works? He's loaded. I wouldn't have even given him a chance if he wasn't stinking rich. Maybe he can help you find a venue. Actually, never mind. I don't really want Elijah to use our money on you. It's okay. I wouldn't dream of asking Elijah to help us out. That makes sense. It must be so embarrassing seeing how much better off your own brother is than you. He's doing so well, and you, well, let's not mince words. You're poor. I know I don't make nearly as much as Elijah does, but that doesn't really upset me. I'm not looking to be rich, but I wouldn't say that I'm poor. I don't work anywhere fancy, but I get by and that's enough for me. It's a bit unfair to call me poor just because I'm not that wealthy, isn't it? Not everyone can work like that, you know? Someone's gotta be the one to do all the manual labor that makes their jobs even possible. As I thought. So that's just a roundabout way of saying you're going nowhere, right? I heard you worked, but I don't remember what company. Probably somewhere lame, right? Don't tell me. Fast food. Oh, I'm gonna hurl. You are at least working though, right? Or am I remembering wrong? You haven't quit or anything, right? Yes, I am employed right now. You should just marry someone better. It worked out for me. I don't have to lift a finger outside of the house. It would do you good to try and meet some other people. Then again, not everyone is cut out to be a housewife. Maybe you don't have what it takes. Elijah deserves only the best, and he got it with me. Well, I hope he believes that, at least. Of course he does. He's not an idiot. As for you, you're not exactly someone I could see staying at home and baking cookies. And you're not on an amazing career path. Oh, you've got a poor fiancé, no future money goals. It's not a stretch to say that you're poor, you know. So get off my case. Don't be so dramatic. That may work for your marriage, but not everyone wants a life like that. Mitch and I are both happy working. I could never stay home like that. I get so bored. And of course, it's okay if you want to do that, but for me, I want to work. I like making my own money and helping provide for the both of us, and Mitch supports me in that. We just split the housework and such. We don't have kids or anything anyway, so there's not a lot of work to be done. It's only our mess we need to take care of. Just admit you're poor and we can move on. I'm surprised you live in such a nice house as you do, though. How have you not run out of money yet? I can see you, begging in the streets in your future. So maybe don't act so pompous, or when you lose your home, no one is gonna want to help you out. Don't burn your bridges with me and Elijah. We're your only hope. I am not being pompous. I just thought it was kind of rude. You said you speak your mind. I'm allowed to speak mine too. I don't really care about your opinion, Cool. Or how much money you make. I bet you do, though, huh? What do you mean? I can't imagine being so poor your husband can't even support the both of you. I'm not gonna lose any sleep over this, but I bet you do. Almost every night, huh? I know, I definitely would if I were you. Not knowing when you'll eat your next meal sounds miserable. That stress must be unbearable. I don't think my life is anything at all like how you're representing it. We're not rich, but we're not struggling or anything. Mitch and I are certainly not wanting for food. We eat fine. I don't think I've ever skipped a meal, except maybe when I'm dieting. Uh-huh. You expect me to believe that? You've got struggle written all over your face. You look twice your age already. I'd suggest makeup, but I'm not sure you could afford it. Not sure if it would do any good anyways. Some things are just too bad to fix. Yeah, I saw Mitch on my way home the other day too. What do you mean? You saw him walking home or something? Yep, wearing his work clothes. And it's so obvious what he was doing. He had a hard hat, a reflective vest, and he was covered in dirt. So he can't hide it from me now. He works in construction, right? That's gotta be rough. Yeah, he works in construction. OMG, does he work outside on the buildings? Don't tell me he works with sewers and stuff too. OMG, that's disgusting. Is there a problem with that? What are you getting at? Outside all day, no matter the weather, he's gonna get heat stroke one of these days. Even if he enjoys it now, he's gonna get tired of it eventually. You and Elijah really are so different. It's like you came from different worlds. He's doing so much better than you. It's unbelievable. Yes, of course we're different. We're different people. Elijah is a corporate manager. I work in a shop, and Mitch works in construction. Just because we're family doesn't mean we have to all choose the same career path. That's ridiculous. There is nothing wrong with what we're doing. We do what makes us happy. And I'll have you know, Mitch loves his job. He loves designing and has no problem with what he's doing. He told me in the future he wants to help build skyscrapers and huge apartment buildings. It's his dream to build a house just for the two of us. That's his dream? Gross. I know they say make reasonable goals, but you gotta aim a little higher than that. I don't know how you can do it. You're tougher than me, I guess. I wouldn't even consider dating someone as poor as Mitch. I want someone with a proper job to be the breadwinner. Well, we're different people. We have different needs. And there's nothing wrong with that. But money isn't all there is. Only gold diggers think that. You didn't choose Elijah just because he has a lot of money, right? There's other things you need. You love him no matter what. That's what marriage means. You didn't choose to marry him so you could mooch off his money, right? Of course I didn't do that. It was one reason, though. Elijah is a good person. and loaded. So he's good all around. And unlike you guys, he has an amazing dream. He has motivation. He's working hard to climb even higher up the ladder. For the both of us, you don't need to worry about my choices. I've thought this all through. I've looked at this from every angle, and he is perfect.
Elijah does have a lot of good points, but that's not all you need to think about when choosing who to spend your life with.
Come on! We both know, unlike his sibling, that he's drop-dead gorgeous too. I'm not so dumb as to overlook that, you know.
I wasn't talking about looks. That shouldn't be important at all. There's other things to consider. He's a really sweet guy. He's always worrying about his loved ones and doing whatever he can for them. But he's got faults too, like everyone. He's too naive. He needs help from his partner so he doesn't get scammed or something. And he always overworks himself. He needs someone to tell him when to stop.
You seem a little too into him. Is that why you're dragging your feet actually marrying Mitch? You're hoping your brother is going to come and sweep you off your feet?
Of course I'm not. Don't be disgusting. I'm not dragging my feet. I told you I'm just trying to lock down the perfect venue. I am so thrilled to be marrying Mitch, regardless of how much money he makes, and I'm sure he feels the same way about me.
I'm not so sure about that. The whole thing is kind of weird the more I think about it. You marrying him as a way to get suspicions off of you. You knew Elijah was forbidden to you, so you're just marrying whatever sad sack will work as a cover. I guess it doesn't bother me so long as you understand your place. I mean, it's not like I can really think any less of you anyway.
You're being ridiculous. Can you stop it with the crazy stories? If you're gonna keep doing this, I'm going to have to stop talking with you because this is stressing me out.
Wow, way to be rude about it. But okay, I gotcha. I'll stop teasing you.
Thank you.
I wouldn't want to make you cry or anything.
I'm not going to cry about this, but whatever, as long as you stop.
Besides, I bet you're an ugly crier. I can't even imagine your face being any uglier than it already is, but I'm worried about the people around you. I wouldn't want to subject them to seeing that.
That's really rude.
Okay, my bad. Elijah says I'm far too straightforward. I guess it's because I've never been called out for being so blunt. My family and friends let me get away with saying anything, which is to be expected since they wouldn't want to see this pretty face upset.
Okay, this isn't really how we should be talking to each other anyway. We're technically family since you married my brother. Let's act like it, huh? You're not a kid anymore. It wouldn't kill you to learn some tact. You can't just go around saying whatever you want. You're going to get yourself in trouble somewhere down the line, and you're not always going to have me or your family to protect you.
Oh, I'm so scared. Don't worry about me. I can take care of myself. You're just going to add more wrinkles to your face worrying like that. And trust me, you don't need any more right now.
I can't believe this. I know we haven't really sat down and talked one-on-one before, but you seemed so sweet. I really didn't think you'd be like this. I guess I misjudged you.
That's why I messaged you. Duh! Seemed like a good chance to finally meet the real you and vice versa.
I feel like you messaged me just so you could berate me. All you've done is spew hatred at me and Mitch.
I have not. I'm not that horrible. I was checking about the wedding, remember? Because I know you're not going to do it right because you don't have enough money. So I have a warning for you. I don't want you stealing any of Elijah's money.
What? Where did that come from?
We have plenty, but it's for us. Elijah is sweet, and I'm worried he'll try to help you. Like you said, he's easily pressured. If you asked him behind my back, he'll probably cave. But you're a big girl. You can figure your own stuff out. Just because you're poor doesn't mean the rest of your family is supposed to support you. So just leave my husband out of it and find a way to make your own money, okay?
What are you even saying? I've never given any indication I wanted to do something like that, and I wouldn't. You're being paranoid. Have you really been worried about this?
I know your plan already. You've got no money, so you're going to host it at the cheapest place you can find. And then Elijah will pity you and offer to help. I know how you poor people think. I'm on to you.
I don't think all poor people think the same, and I don't think you understand what I'm thinking at all. No offense.
Don't act like you don't know what I'm talking about.
I'm sorry, but I can't take this anymore. Unlike you, I'm really busy. I've got a lot of stuff to do, and I'd rather not spend it on this meaningless convo. I'm sorry. I'm gonna step out.
That's a funny way of saying you ran out of excuses. You can't fool me. Whatever. I said what I wanted to say, so I hope you think about it. You can forget any stupid plans you have of stealing our money. See you later, I guess. Color me shocked. Oh yeah, hi, I guess.
What did I do this time? Are you just back to insult me again or something?
There's no need to be that suspicious, girl. We're family, right? I wouldn't insult you. Besides, I didn't say anything other than the truth. Anyway, we got your wedding invitation. I've been looking at it for a few minutes now.
Oh, all right. Is there a problem?
It says it's being held at Million Dreams Garden. That's absolutely amazing. I'm super proud of you. That place is top tier. Did you, use your life savings on that?
Oh, so you're not upset? That's good. But no, we didn't have to use all of our savings. I wouldn't feel right wasting all of my money on one day.
Are you okay after spending all that? You guys still got food to eat, right? Or have you not paid it yet? Are you going to be able to cover it?
If I couldn't afford it, I wouldn't have picked it.
But you can't afford it, right? This just makes so much sense. Not gonna lie, it's kind of confirmed my theory. I knew you were trying to get Elijah's money.
What? How did it get back to this? I thought we were over this.
You're trying to get some sympathy points from this. Rent a nice place. Tell him it's going to make you super happy. And then something comes up and you can't afford it. And Elijah will help cover it. And then he'll keep giving you money.
Is this all you can think about? Why are you so worried?
Of course it's not. I have more important things in my life than worrying about you. But it is a problem and I want to address it. You can cancel it if you want now that I know what you're doing, but that's not going to change anything. I know now what you want. Unless you got it for cheap. Did the venue pity you, perhaps? Did someone give you a discount?
It was a little cheaper than normal, yeah, because people don't rent it out during this time of the year usually, and a situation sort of happened that lowered the price.
Of course. I should have known you wouldn't spend that much money, even if you planned on conning Elijah into helping you. There's no way you could have put down a deposit for something like that. That place is crazy popular.
Yeah, I know it is. That's why I chose it.
I asked them myself back when we were arranging our wedding, and they told me they had no more spots. They told me they were booked for the next 3 years, so we had to go somewhere else. How on earth did you get a booking? What did you do?
Apparently, when I went over there, someone had just canceled their reservation. It was just a stroke of luck, I guess, but that meant there was an empty spot on discount for the taking.
You'll stick out like a sore thumb in a rich place like that, you know. Why don't I help you move it somewhere more your style?
Huh? I thought you weren't interested in helping. Also, I kind of want to do it all myself.
If we go somewhere that amazing, I might never want to leave again. And people will see me with you. It would be perfect if it was for me and Elijah. It's a place for the upper class.
Well, you two already had your wedding, so tough luck. And we've already decided. As you already noticed, I've sent out the invitations.
It's so easy to figure out what you're planning because you're poor, so all your plans are to make money. And since I am upper class, I'm smarter and can think clearer.
I don't really get what you're saying. I spent more money on a nice place because I wanted to make money? How does that work exactly?
So we gonna change it to somewhere else?
Are you not going to answer my question? Guess not. Anyway, we were so lucky we got that spot, there's no way I'm giving it up now.
Ugh, I knew you'd be like this. I had a better idea than yours, but you won't even listen to me. Just think about it. If you let me change the venue, you'll probably save enough money to book 2 other places. Think about how happy Mitch would be if he could see you in your beautiful dress not once, but twice. 2 weddings, maybe even more, and you won't be in crippling debt for the rest of your life.
I legit have no idea what you're even talking about. It sounds like a waste of money, though, and I don't think Mitch would be into it at all, so that's going to be a hard pass.
I already know Mitch will love the idea. Don't even worry about that.
Oh, really? And how is that?
When I got married, all Elijah wanted was for me to be happy. He didn't care what our wedding looked like. Whatever I said was law. I'm sure it's the same with Mitch, if he's got even an ounce of decency.
This conversation is going to give me a headache. You can't be in charge of the wedding. Sorry. I've already started, and I don't trust you to do it anyway. And Mitch already agreed with what I decided.
You're no fun. Do you always have to play by the books? I'm gonna be stuck in a lame dress in some lame place you pick. Sounds like a living hell. I'd rather die.
Lame place? You said yourself that the Million Dreams Garden is a great venue. You said you wished you could have had your own wedding there. So will you stop with this lame wedding crap? I'm really getting sick of it. I'm trying to stay civil because you're my sister-in-law, at least for now, but you're really pushing it.
At least for now? What does that mean? I'm not going anywhere, if that's what you're getting at. Don't act like I'm some spoiled brat. You're only, 2 years older than me? And considering your position, I wouldn't say you're exactly experienced or wise. You're just a dirty, poor, trying to put on airs with a wedding venue above your station. So don't act like you're better than me.
Not exactly what I meant. But yes, in a way you are acting like a spoiled brat. In that way, I suppose I am better than you. I have manners, for one, and I consider myself pretty kind. But as I said, for now, we're stuck with each other. We'll have to get along at family gatherings at the bare minimum. So it wouldn't kill you to show me some respect back. Nothing crazy, but not attacking me every chance you get is a good start.
You may be older, but Elijah is still the pride of your family. If anything, you should be respecting me for being the one the best sibling chose to marry.
Why are we acting like there's some sort of sibling hierarchy here? We aren't in Victorian times. No one cares about the pride of the family anymore. We're all doing our own thing and succeeding in it.
Are you blind or something? Of course something like that matters. Mitch works in a crappy blue-collar job, and we both know he's not going anywhere. He's going to be stuck doing that forever. No matter what, you're both going to be poor, and you're asking me to pretend like we're equals somehow? What, do you want me to sympathize with you? Oh, I'm so sorry you're marrying a trash man. Better yet, why don't we just accept reality and call a spade a spade?
You'll really turn any suggestion into a fight, won't you? All you have to do is not be actively toxic to me. Don't call me names. Don't call Mitch names. Act like an adult. Even if we don't have as much money as you guys, you have no right to be so rude to us.
Yeah, you keep telling yourself that. Just remember what I told you before. Don't come crawling to us for the money when your perfect husband doesn't work out, okay? Wow, you made it. The day of the wedding is upon us. Congratulations. It's strange to even let those words leave my brain.
Well, I appreciate you reaching out with some good news for once. Thank you.
I did a lot of thinking about this whole wedding business. Like, a lot. I realized I'd rather not go at all.
Oh, is that so?
I'm busy as it is, being a loving wife to a rich husband and all. Plus, I don't really have any interest in seeing you in the first place. So, going out of my way, wasting my time to see you in some horrible wedding dress? No thanks.
What did Elijah say about that when you told him?
I didn't tell him.
Well, don't you think he's going to figure it out? And rather soon at that.
Oh, he's been on a business trip. Since he got an amazing high-paying job and everything. He said he was going to try and come back for the wedding, but he got caught up or something. I think he's on his way there already, though. He told me to go and support you in the meantime. I did try and tell him, but he was moving around or driving because the connection was terrible. So it cut off before I got the chance. He's not going to care, though, so that's not that big of a deal.
I see.
I don't really want to go, so I probably won't, but I can still humor you, I suppose. If you're just absolutely desperate for my attention. I charge $10 an hour for my time.
Wow, how generous. Only 10 for an hour? That's quite a cheap way to sell yourself. Anyway, I'm actually quite busy today, with the wedding, so if you can stop messing around, I'd appreciate it.
I'm not messing around. I'm being serious. I would brighten up the room, add some style to your wedding. I know it needs it. But then again, I guess I'm too pretty. I'll stand out and everyone will think I'm the bride.
I think you've got the wrong idea, Riley.
Wrong idea on what? I only speak the truth. I told you this. What am I doing wrong? You can't tell me I'm wrong. These are just the facts.
No, you see, that's not the problem. The problem is you're not even invited to the wedding.
What?
So I'm not upset that you couldn't make it. I never even formally invited you in the first place. That wedding invitation was for Elijah, only, with no +1. You just assumed you were invited, so I'm sure I'll be fine without your charitable services. I'm trying to have a nice day. I'm not worried about making anything perfect right now or adding more expenses. Not that I couldn't afford the $10 before you start with your poor jokes, but I'm not going to. Even for that cheap price, it's not worth it.
What do you mean there was no +1?
I don't know how else to explain it. There was no +1. It was an invitation just for Elijah. I didn't have your name on it at all.
We're married. Where he goes, I go. That should be obvious. It doesn't need to say my name. It's implied.
Yes, you're married, but you're still separate people. If I wanted both of you, I would have written both of your names on there. I wouldn't treat you like part of Elijah. It was meant only for him. That's why only his name was on there.
What? Why wouldn't you invite me? What did I do? I'm Elijah's wife. If you invite Elijah, it's only reasonable you include me too. We're sister-in-laws.
It doesn't really matter, does it? In the end, you decided not to come, so I don't see what the big deal is.
It's the principle of the matter. Not wanting to go is completely different than you refusing to let me come.
It would have ended the same anyway, even if I didn't tell you. It's my wedding. I can invite whoever I want, and you've been rude to me, so I decided I didn't want that negative attitude near me on my big day.
Does Elijah know about this? He's going to be so upset with you when he finds out you're excluding me like this. I'm his wife, for God's sake.
Actually, I already did tell him. When I gave him the invitation, I let him know that you weren't invited.
Don't lie to me. He would be upset. He hasn't said a word to me. You're making it up.
I showed him the messages you've been sending me. He seemed really upset with you, Riley, and he said he understood why I didn't want you coming. He probably didn't say anything to be nice to you.
You showed him our texts, but those are private. You didn't do that. He would have told me.
It's not my job to convince you. You can deny it if you want. I was just letting you know since you brought it up. But hey, I'm just telling you the facts. You love that, right? Want to know what else he told me? He said he felt deceived. He was hurt that you did this sort of thing behind his back.
No, he didn't. He loves me. He's absolutely head over heels for me. He would never speak about me like that.
As your husband, he was ashamed. Ashamed that you had acted this way. He even apologized to Mitch. He told us he would never treat us like we're inferior to him.
I didn't say anything that wasn't true. Mitch works at a construction company. He doesn't make much money, so you have to work as well. Those are just the facts.
He may not be some big shot or work at a huge company, but it's a good job and it makes him happy. And the company has very good ratings. It's known for never cutting corners. They get the job done right the first time. And the company is doing well, so it's showing no signs of shutting down anytime soon. He'll be at his job for at least a few years. They got orders backed up for years.
What does that matter? Even if you enjoy it, you're not making any money. You can't live off of happiness.
You never actually asked what my husband did. He's a professional architectural designer, and a great one at that. He spent years training for it, and actually the company is his. He's a business owner. He's been super busy with it, so I barely see him nowadays.
He owns the company?
Yep, he's got his office right downtown. It's a great spot, close enough to everyone for any sort of project.
What? But you can't afford that. Did you go into debt just to buy that office? That's ridiculous.
We're not in debt. We have plenty of money. I mean, have you heard where we're having our wedding?
But you don't even live around there. Do you expect to drive down there every day? That doesn't make sense.
We actually just finished moving. We got a nice condo right in the city.
You bought a condo?
Yep. And actually, Mitch designed Million Dreams Garden and his company built it. That's partially why I really wanted to do our wedding there. I'm glad we were able to.
No way!
He's actually a really popular designer in this area. I'm surprised you didn't know. I basically begged him to work on the project.
But he's just an architect. How much could he possibly make?
Well, architects are paid pretty well, and it's a pretty important job for construction companies after all. I think Mitch ended up making twice what Elijah made last year. Pretty crazy, right?
What?
He used that cash to start his own business, and now he's completely loaded with work. I doubt he'll get a break for months after the honeymoon, but he's made absolute sure he has time for that.
How could he be making more than Elijah? I've never heard about this. Someone should have told me.
Well, it's not exactly any of your business, is it? Plus, with the way you were talking to me, I didn't feel like justifying myself. I didn't keep anything from you. You just made things up in your head.
But you should have told me. You let me get the totally wrong idea about you guys. I wouldn't have said those things to you if I had known. I could have come to the wedding too.
You weren't invited, so you wouldn't have come. I don't need friends who are only friends with me for my money. If your attitude changes that quickly, you're incredibly shallow.
Wait, I can still come now. It's not too late. We can fix this.
I just told you that you aren't invited.
Please don't say that. Look, I'm going to change into something nice right now. Then I can be on my way over to see you. If I take a taxi, I'm pretty sure I can make it in time.
There's no seat for you here.
That's okay. I can bring one then.
Bring a seat for yourself? What are you thinking? I've never seen someone show up to a wedding with a lawn chair before.
Well, I can sit with Elijah. He can share his seat with me. Or I can sit on his lap. We can make it work.
That's not gonna work. Elijah already knows I didn't invite you. He's not going to share with you.
I'm his wife. Of course he will. It'll be okay. Let me just apologize in person. You'll see how sorry I am because I really am. I made a huge mistake. Please forgive me.
That's the first nice thing I've ever heard coming out of your mouth. If you're really that worried about it, you're free to show up, I guess. It's not like I can physically stop you anyway.
Wait, really? Okay, great. I'm in a taxi right now on my way. They said I should get there in like 10 minutes.
OMG, have you been typing while getting changed? And while calling a taxi? You're really serious about this, huh?
I don't want to be late. I'm going to make it in time.
I'll try and have something prepared, I guess. A bit last minute, but I'll see what I can do.
For me? Am I getting a special seat or something? Or a meal specifically made for me?
You're very optimistic. I don't think you understand exactly how I feel about this right now.
Well, I finally have a chance for you to forgive me. Just a few more minutes. I can see the venue now. All right, Abby, I'm here. I made it just in time. Where are you? I'm getting out now.
OMG, you really came?
Of course I did. I told you I was on my way. What were you preparing for me? I'm so excited. I'm so glad you let me come.
I left it at the receptionist's desk. I told her you were coming. Just go over and give her your name and she should give it to you.
Really? Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Wait, what exactly is this? Is this divorce papers? And it has Elijah's name on it? What is this?
Elijah said he wanted to give it to you after the wedding was over. He planned on giving it to you for a while now, I think, but he heard you were coming and decided to hand it over as soon as possible. I told him he could leave it at the receptionist's desk. That way you wouldn't even need to come in because you weren't invited.
What do you mean?
You don't have an invitation. All I said was you could come over here. I didn't say I would let you in. But I feel bad letting you go home empty-handed, so I wanted to at least let you take something home. Elijah offered to use this.
I don't need this. And the staff just turned me away as soon as they handed it to me. This is terrible service. They told me as soon as I picked up my item, I had to get off the property immediately. Isn't that cruel? Did you tell them to do that?
Not exactly. I told them anyone without an invitation was not allowed to come in.
But I came all the way over here. You told me to.
I didn't tell you to. I said you didn't need to come, but that if you insisted, you could. I never said you could come in, though. Elijah said it saved him a lot of time letting you come pick it up yourself, though. To get it over with, you know. I think we're all glad this is finally over.
No, it's not over. Let me in. I'm going to the wedding. We're going to fix this. Let me see Elijah.
Sorry, but the answer is going to be a no. The lady from the front desk came over and said someone suspicious is hanging around the property. Is that you, Riley?
I'm not suspicious. We're family. I'm meant to be here.
Have you read your own texts? They said your dress is ripped and one of your high heels is cracked.
That's only because I was rushing. I did look nice, but I was so worried I wasn't paying attention. I tripped on the way here and ripped my dress.
Dang, sounds like you had a hard time. Hope you get some rest. Go home. You can relax there. Just be careful not to trip again on the way back.
No, I am not going home. Can you not hear me? I'm calling for you. I'm trying to apologize. Please let me. Please let me in. I need to see Elijah. Please tell him I don't want him to leave. Please, let me tell you I'm sorry.
I'm still not letting you in. Sorry. Anyway, I think we're getting ready to start now that everyone's settled in. Nice knowing you.
Wait, please. I'm so sorry.
Elijah went through with the divorce. It was all settled really quickly. I heard that Riley had to move in with her parents since she had no money of her own. But since her family found out how she had treated me and what she had done, they were furious. They disowned her and told her she wasn't welcome there anymore. I'm not sure exactly how, since she proudly didn't have a job, but she managed to get enough money for an apartment. But there's definitely not going to be any more splurging in her future. There's no time because now she has to work all day. She starts at noon and doesn't get home until morning. She had to pick up 2 jobs to keep up with the rent, I think. She's lost a lot of weight, apparently. I suppose that's from all the hard work she's not used to doing. Riley caught Mitch on his way home from work recently. She apparently asked for him to help her get back with Elijah. He said he barely even recognized her. She was like a totally different person. As for us, our wedding went perfect, besides the whole situation with Riley. And right after, we went on an amazing honeymoon together. Italy. So romantic. But now that we're back home and things have gone back to normal, we're thinking about moving. We might even build our own dream house. I'm really looking forward to it. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please like the video and share it with your friends. For more content like this, you can subscribe to our channel.